So I've been wanting to do a little, a review, a little video about this sewing machine that I bought as a zigzag machine originally, and then that became the machine that I fix sails with. I'm not a sail maker, I'm not an experienced sailor either, but in this town there is no sail maker, and a friend of mine who knows that I do sewing projects broke his mainsail on his little trailer sailor and asked me to fix it. And this is what I used, and this is how I use it. This particular model is the Singer 4432 heavy duty domestic sewing machine. It's pretty small, there we go, for scale. It's pretty mechanical, and it kind of does everything that I want it to do. It comes with a standard foot and a zipper foot and all kind of, not a zipper foot, yeah, it does come with a zipper foot. It comes with a buttonhole foot and all kinds of fun stuff like that. I then went ahead and bought a set of extra attachments for it. There's one specifically that I wanted to use, which is this bad boy here, and this is a walking foot attachment, which I find with working with Dacron sail material absolutely invaluable. The reason being that the feed dogs on this machine, which are the little rough bits there that drag the fabric as it sews, just seems to slip on the Dacron, so it was slipping sideways and making it very difficult. It's a bit of a process to put this foot on, so let's have a look. You're first gonna, if you don't know how to do this, do the basic stuff on this machine. The manual is pretty straightforward, and we'll show you. We need a screwdriver. So this comes off like that. As I was saying, it's a little fiddly. This bit, I don't know if you can see, I'll get a close-up in a second, but this bit needs to go over the arm, or the screw that holds the needle, and then this bit here sits on that shaft there, where I took the other shafty bit off. So let the fiddling commence. Nailed it. We'll screw that tight again. Okay, so just to explain how this works, I'll just hand turn it without any thread in. If I put the foot down, you'll see that this foot moves. You can see this bit moves as well. So what happens now is that the top half, the walking foot, drags the fabric, as well as the feed dogs at the bottom, which is brilliant. Okay, so there's your close-up on this side, where you can see that mechanism over the screw that holds the needle. For those of you who are interested or not interested, this is my sewing room. Yes, men can have sewing rooms as well. So I've got a whole bunch of sewing machines and an embroidery machine in the corner there. We manufacture skydiving apparel in New Zealand. We're the only people who do that. And this is where the magic happens. This is our number 1 Genoa off a 20-foot trailer sailor. Like I said, I'm not a sail maker. I don't know too much about it. It's a pretty lightweight, thin Dacron. This is the damage that I'm going to repair. It's an old sail, so it's just torn in a little bit of heavy weather. Started to tear on the stitch line there. During our New Zealand COVID lockdown, I managed to get some old sails from a sailmaker up in Auckland. I don't know what boat they were from. I don't know how old they are. It's probably 3 to 4 times the weight of the sail material that I have. I originally got it to make sail bags like that, and some duffel bags and stuff. But lately I've been using that to repair our sails. I'm pretty sure it's the wrong thing to use, so don't judge people. I live in New Zealand, it's very hard to get stuff here. We don't have a Sailrite, So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I've got is I've cut a appropriate size piece of the heavy Dacron for the repair, and I use double-sided tape from the dollar shop, which is the cheapest you can find, and it works absolutely fine. So as it's on the, is it on the luff? It's on the luff. No, it's on the leech of the sail, that one, I believe. I'm going to fold this, just give it a crease, like that. Oh, save that bit for later. I'm going to double-sided tape this on both sides. Again, I'm not saying this is the appropriate way, this is more a question of how capable the sewing machine is than how to repair sails. But hey, if it works. Also, like as a caveat, we sail on a lake, we don't go out to sea for days at a time. So if the worst comes to worst, we're never further than about an hour away from shore on a little outboard motor. So the repair doesn't have to be perfect, just needs to be functional and hopefully get another season out of the sail before we need to replace it. It is on the luff of the sail, quite near the top. There's your damage there. Let's get this off. It's probably the most difficult part of this. There we go. It's one side. So this is a trick I learned from a friend doing parachute rigging, working with webbing and harnesses and stuff to keep stuff in place. A lot of parachute riggers also use hot glue gun to keep things in place. So I'm going to stick this there, fold it, and stick it there. So this is my third and fourth hand, essentially. And that's just going to keep it there to get sewn on. Nice. To the sewing machine we go. Righty, the thread I'm using is the same stuff we use in the skydiving apparel. It's called Nybond. It's a nylon thread. This is a 60 weight. We use 60 and 40. I believe in sail making they use polyester thread. I don't have any. It's difficult to get here, and this seems to work fine. To thread the machine, because it's a big spool, I've got this little stand here, but obviously if you've got a smaller spool you can just stick it on the machine there. It's very, very straightforward. They have made little guides and numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes through the needle. So I'm going to say this again, I know I've said it a few times. This video is about the efficiency of this sewing machine, not necessarily how to fix sails. However, the methods that I am showing here, I've now used a few times. I wouldn't certify it as such, but it seems to work and it seems to last. I'll see if I can find a picture of a friend of mine's main sail that actually ripped in half up at the top, and I fixed it with a combination of this sort of thing and some sticky sailcloth that I used, and he's done over 1,000 nautical miles on that in up to about 25 knots of wind in his 20-foot trailer sailor, and it seems to work. Alright, machine's ready and loaded, let's go get that sail. This is a little bit of trial and error, usually. So I'm looking at this stitch pattern, there, come on focus. I'm looking at the stitch pattern there, and I'm going to try and duplicate that. So it's obviously a zigzag machine or a zigzag pattern, so I've set the machine here on zigzag. The stitch length, I'm probably going to try it on 2, and the stitch width, sorry, that says width, Let's try a 4. So this is just a piece of Dacron that I've got. I'm going to drop that needle on there. The machine is on. You can see how this walking foot just helps feed the fabric, which is really cool. Alright, so let's see how we went. Where are my snips? They're somewhere. Scissors. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously you can adjust that as you want. Make sure you've got the similar pattern to what your sail is. Happy with the patch there. And now let's stick it on. Reverse it. That should lock the stitch. And we're done. It's a bit of a close-up there. So I've selected to stitch over the seam to keep that there. I know those are really light sails, and some of you who are hopefully watching this will have bigger boats and heavier sails. This Dacron that I got from Doyle Sails, I think was off a 40-foot yacht, which I guess is the fairly popular size in cruising. So let's see what it does. So this is, let's go 2 layers. Let's go 2 layers there. So imagine you're doing a repair. On your boat, 2 layers of fabric, just no problem. And let's pretend that you need 4 layers. Almost doesn't fit under the foot. So I'm just going to gently push this needle down and see how we go. Yeah, I think we're good. Sounds clunky. But it does it. Perfectly. Don't think I want to do 8 layers. Let's go, what was that, 4? Let's go 6 layers. Let's go 6 layers. I haven't tried this before, by the way. I hope I don't break the needle. No. No, that'll break the needle. Just thought of something. I've got some sunbrella here because I made some bean bags for a friend of mine for her sailing boat recently. We all know sunbrella. Let's go to, hang on, to 4 layers of sunbrella. That should be enough for your canvas work, right? Here we go. Oh. No problem. I'm not going to show the whole process because I think it's boring. But here's a much more difficult repair that I'm going to try. This is the main sail of the same boat. And this is a batten pocket here, obviously, and it's got a tear down there and across there. which is a bit of a pig to get to, so I'm going to have to remove the batten pocket, then sew a patch, then sew the batten pocket back. So let's see how we go. Okay, so I've used this little guy here, little stitch ripper, and just taken the portion of the batten pocket off. Hopefully I can remember how it all goes back together. There seems to be pencil marks here where the sailmaker did it. So just for scale, this is how big the repair is. This rip goes to here. So I'm going to put I'm just going to put a square over here and be done with it. Okay, I've cleaned it all up, pulled all the threads off. This is a pretty high stress area of the sail, I think. Again, not a sailmaker, bad at sailing, so I'm guessing here. So I'm probably going to over-engineer this a little bit. I've got some Dacron sail tape that I'll start off with, and well, first I'll clean it up. So let me go and get that good old isopropyl alcohol to clean off the sail, and then just normal sail tape, which I did have to buy at great expense. I can't remember how much it was, but those of you who live in New Zealand will understand that anything here is about 10 times the price of what it should be. Always good to have crew. Hi Sophie.
Hi Dad.
Thanks for helping.
No problem.
I've always had the theory that when I cut the sail tape or any sticky tape, I round the corners. So when you stick it down, pretty much like a patch on a bicycle tire, I guess, round things don't let go as easily as square corners, right? So we got the patch here, double-sided tape. I've sail taped both sides. Not sure if that's necessary. And now we'll just stick this patch on here and go inside. All right, so that was a handful to maneuver around. So essentially what I've done is I've started there and I've sewn down here and there, and then I locked the stitch off there. Then I started again up there and I sewed that line and that line, and that's as much as I could turn the sail around under the machine. I don't think there's any problem with just sewing one line at a time, as long as you lock the stitch off, right? There we have it. Batten pocket back on. My daughter's signed her patch that she made. That's the one side, and here's the other side, just with the sail tape there for just in case. Let's see how long that lasts. This is another repair that I wanted to show you real quick. I'm done with the same machine. The clue grommet tore out the sail. That's how old the sail is, poor thing. And I found a strip of Kevlar tape, which we use in the parachute industry. Made the repair with the Kevlar tape, punched a hole through it, punched a new grommet in it, and that's been going strong for almost a year now.